Lord, all my desire is before thee, and my groaning is not hid from thee. My heart panteth, my strength faileth me, as for the light of mine eyes. It also is gone from me. My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my sore, and my kinsmen stand afar off. Psalm 38, 9 through 11. All you have to do is to fall once or make one mistake, and then you will know who are your true friends, your lovers, and your kinsmen. See, our sins drive us to God. If people could turn against David because of his failures and weaknesses, listen. If people could turn against David because of his failures and weaknesses when he was so perfect in many ways, how can you expect to pass a lifetime without adversaries? It was David's sin that turned his friends against him. Most friends are only friends until you do something that offends them or is against their laws or their rules of society. My desire for you is that you search your heart, that you never become like David's lovers, friends, and relatives. David's sin was grievous, and he paid a terrible price for every moment of stolen pleasure. A loathsome disease struck him in his loins, giving him much pain and misery, verse 5 and 7. He knew that it was sin and had caused his sickness, verse 3. He was miserable with conviction, verse 6. A guilty conscience is the beginning of hell. It is a torment that is not counseled by death. All this was agony for David, but when the ones he loved turned against him, it was more than he could bear. It drove him to me, see. Suddenly, I became more precious to him than any lover, any friend, or any relative. Then he sought my companionship. Then he gave me his love. Why do people have to suffer rejection before they are drawn closer to me? But they do. It is the hurts of your life that have drawn you closer to me. David prayed in the Spirit, longing for release. His strength failed him. He felt so weak spiritually and physically. The Spirit went out of him. The light went out of his eyes. He had lost that sparkle. It seemed the end had come. But I forgave him and restored him, and I honored him before the people. He died in peace, loved and mourned by all. That shepherd boy from Bethlehem was no worse than the average man, nor was he better. He was a man of like passions. I understood him. He had tried and failed, but he tried again, and this time he never again failed me. Because he had a tender conscience, he suffered when he sinned. That is what made him great. It was not his perfect life. It was his tender conscience that made him a man after my own heart. Acts 13:22. Our sins drive us to God.